Hi, friends. So this is Deepak Chawla once again, and I'm here on behalf of Tell Me Your Story, TMYS. As you know, I am a person who spent 32 years in the corporate world, been an educationist, an author, a poet, and today it gives me great pleasure to welcome a very multifaceted personality, a great lover of entertainment industry. Let me present to you Mandar Natekar, Chief Business Officer, KidZania.
It's a namaste. This is
Namaste.
a new COVID greeting. Namaste, and thanks for
Yeah,
having me over. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's great to be on this forum with you.
thank you, Mandar. So, we've been here on this Tell Me Your Story platform where we've got some of the business leaders and some of the academicians and some leaders from the entertainment industry as well, who've been talking about their life stories, how their life stories have had very telling effect on their personalities, on their lives, and which could probably be a very great insight to our viewers, a lot of messages for them, new insights for them. And this is why we are here today. So, uh, thank you for being here once again. So, Mandar, you've been a person who has been a kind of trekker in the entertainment industry. There's no great place in the industry world where you have not been there, whether it is Sony, whether it is MTV, whether it is the Reliance Group uh, or Viacom. You've seen it all. So just wanted to let the viewers know from you that what is it as an outsider? You know, this is a great razzmatazz, an industry which is full of glamour, glitter, and so many people aspire to be a part of it in some way or the other. So behind this glitter, behind this glamour, what is it, Mandar, that you have seen in life that you would like to share with us, which has made a very lasting impact on you in your life?
So, uh, I would say behind all the glamour and the razzmatazz and the glitz is a lot of hard work and a lot of passion that goes into it. I mean,
I'm sure.
at the heart of it, whilst the glamour part is very visible, when I tell my friends or my family members that I'm a part of the entertainment industry, it's all, oh, you guys must be having so much fun and
Exactly,
conferences and
exactly.
offsites and traveling. But I must tell you, it's so much of hard work. They require so much of passion. It is so much of relationship building that goes on. It's all like I want to bring this analogy out. When you see a duck swimming in the water, you just see,
Hmm.
अरे वो duck तो कितना easily swim कर रहा है. But the
Exactly.
furious paddling that goes on beneath, no one sees. So
Yes.
there's a lot of hard work, commitment, and a lot of furious paddling that goes on beneath the surface. But I must tell you, it's a great, beautiful industry to be in. It's so rewarding.
I'm
You meet
sure.
such
Yes.
amazing people, and I've enjoyed every bit of my journey here.
So, what is it that comes to your mind if I ask you that one or two things which, if you reflect back and you feel this journey has taught you, some of those instances, if you can tell us?
Um, One thing that this journey has taught me is, as corporate leaders, we go through our highs and lows, right? Some of them are absolutely independent variables. I mean, you can't do anything about it, and it comes as a curveball, and you have to take
Sure.
it. So one thing that I've learned in all the infinite wisdom that one can gain is that have your own self belief, be your own radar, be your own compass. Don't get swayed by what other people say or think about you, good or bad. Don't get swayed by the good, don't get hurt by the bad. You are your
Correct.
best judge. You have to answer to the man in the mirror. And as long as you keep true to your true north, which is your set of values,
Very true.
goals,
Very true.
aspirations, learnings, you will always do well in life. So if I have to kind of distill all the wisdom into one statement, it is that be true to yourself.
That's great. That's great. There's one thing which I have just known about you recently, and when I had this conversation with you some time back, it was so impactful on my mind itself. I understand you've got an amazing collection of shoes and jackets. Uh, where did this come from, and how did this go about, and how does this really reflect on you as a personality?
Uh, See, I'll share this. We're all eventually a sum total of our experiences in early life, right?
That's right.
What we go through. So, I'll share this with an anecdote, Deepak.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime back, I had an office party at home,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a few colleagues over. Some of them really young who just started, and they saw the house, and they know the lifestyle that I have, and one person made a comment that it must be also amazing to have all of this, and he wanted to kind of see my wardrobe, and he saw so many shoes XYZ. He said it must be so amazing to have this. I said, whilst you see this, I must tell you, it was not so easy in life. So I grew up in a very, very basic middle class household. My parents gave us education. They had nothing else to give. They gave us
Absolutely.
education, and
That's
that was
how we middle class people grow up. Yeah.
correct. Education and values.
Sure.
And I remember, we used to get one pair of shoes in a year. And I just entered college, Mithibai, this whole glamour college, and we had Ajay Devgan and Bobby Deol as our
Yeah.
seniors, and that was the look and feel of the college then. And I had one pair of shoes, and they kind of got destroyed in the first 2 months because they were cheap shoes. Oh, railway station ke bahar se liye
Mm-hmm.
hue. And after that, I had no shoes to wear, and my mother said, "I can't afford to give you another pair." So what I did was, I'm not so tall. My father is very tall. My shoe size then was 8.5. His shoe size was 11.5. I took his old shoes, stuffed them with socks, and wore them
Oh,
so that they could
wow.
fit. And I went through college on that one pair of shoes. And it was really odd. This little tiny guy with such long shoes. But at that point of time, I promised myself that someday I will kind of, through my hard work and my commitment to my career, I will reach a situation where I'll be able to have the things for myself that I like. And another anecdote that I must share, when I was in MBA, me and my
Mm-hmm.
friends, similar background, we said that itna salary milna chahiye ki you should be able to walk into Shoppers Stop and buy whatever you want. That was our ambition. So and that really manifests itself into your choices as you grow elder. So whilst this is all applicable pre-COVID, so one really went, whatever you like, you end up buying it and stocking
Mm-hmm.
it. And now during this COVID era, when I think all of us are reflecting on what is essential, what is not essential, we realize the futility of collecting all these things that you might never
Very true.
use.
Very
So
true.
this
Very true.
this is another new acquired wisdom, that what do you really need and how much of it is really essential. So I have, whatever I had in these last two months, we have done spring cleaning, and we have kind of given away all the shoes and all the jackets and all the clothes that I have not worn. So that was then, this is now.
So maybe that youngster who was looking at these shoes awestruck, maybe you should have given some to them. You would have heard about it.
No, but I did give to him my learning of, if you work hard and you work with full
Mm-hmm.
passion, full integrity, everything that you want is in your grasp. All you need to do is put your focus and apply that focus to your career, whether you work as an entrepreneur or whether you
Yeah,
work as
yeah.
an employee.
It's a very strange thing I read the other day that the economy is collapsing because people are buying what they need,
Hmm.
not what they want.
Hmm.
So the
True.
economy thrives basis our wants, not our needs. And if it's the needs that we have to look at, and that is something which I guess people who are watching this show would realize that to differentiate between the needs and the wants. And this period has taught us, no doubt about it. But it is also one important aspect that as youngsters, people coming from middle class families with values of frugality and चादर उतनी ही पैर उतने ही फैलाना जितनी चादर है. From that, it's accepting that is one thing, and then on the other, taking on from there, that aspiring that I want to be there, and then working
Hmm.
hard for it. I think you've
Sure.
done absolutely amazing on that, and I'm sure that our viewers would really look up to you for this kind of a focus, this kind of a feeling. Uh, how old is your son now? What does he do about it? How are his value systems? And uh, I'm sure your
So, you know,
and my childhood were different, and our children's childhood are different. So how does he take the things now?
so my son is 8.5 years old, and
Uh-huh.
children of this generation, they actually have a problem of plenty, because not only do they get what they want, sometimes parents in their overcompensation
Mm-hmm.
give them things that they don't want. So beyond a point, they don't really value the things they have. It's just one more thing. It takes their interest for 2 3 days, then they move on to the other thing. So, our challenge really, Deepak, is, for example, for me, my driving force to do well in life was to rise above where I was. So that was my ambition, that, I should not be where I was and I should go there. For them, what could be that inspiring thing? Because they have it all. They have done the
Exactly.
foreign
Exactly.
holidays, they have done the five-star hotel stay, they have cars. So what will drive them to kind of realize their own potential? And that is only values. And as parents, we can give them those values of integrity, hard work, doing things in the house, sharing things. We make Vivan every year
Yes.
share all the things that he does not want with people on the street or with NGOs or with other friends, because he has to learn that what he has is not entitlement, but it's pure luck. So the thing that we want him to understand is the value of sharing, of
Yeah.
value of giving to people who are underprivileged, and being conscious and mindful of the fact that you have it and they don't. So be a more responsible citizen. I mean, these are the values that we want to share and bring our children to understand.
So it's a very interesting journey from your life. If you look at it from the time you wanted it, you got it, now you want to give it. So
Yes.
it's a transition, and I must compliment you for it that not everybody goes from the stage of having it to giving it. People want it, have it, and they want more. And the giving element, the feeling of giving, is absolutely missing. I was also amazed to know how you are supporting few children back home in your native place. So, how did this happen, and what is it that you're exactly doing? If you could share with the viewers.
So, Deepak, what happens is, you and I, wherever we are here because we won the genetic lottery, and we were born to the parents we
Very
were
true.
born to,
Very
correct?
true.
And
Very true.
hence we got the right education and the right platforms. But there are millions of kids around us who are born not to the right parents, and the cycle of misery will continue, because their kids will forever be where they are. And I have seen today that if you remove the burden of the cost of academic education, most
Mhm.
parents will send their children to school, because whether we like it or not, the cost of
True.
sending a child to school is to the tune of 10,000 rupees. That includes your uniform, your books, your accessories, your
Absolutely.
participation,
Absolutely.
everything. So I felt, and I believe in the power of one. I felt if I can change the life of one child somewhere, I should do it. So I decided to start it back home in my native place, where I saw that parents are not sending their children to school because they would rather have them work in the fields than go to school and spend money on them. So I said, okay, let
Hmm.
me try it as an experiment. And I
Hmm.
went to the school and I said, I want to fund complete education of 3 kids. Let me see how that happens. That led to 5 kids the next year, then
Hmm.
10 the next year, then 15. So today I'm at a stage where and when I say I, there are also a lot of friends who participate with me. So
Okay.
very interesting. I put this up as a Facebook post about 3 years back, and
Hmm.
I got a phenomenal response. Thanks to all of those people, that now 15 kids in my native place get the benefit of full academic scholarship. They're able to go to school. Their parents send them to school. Some of them have finished their schooling. They have become diploma engineers. Some of them are
Hmm.
working in the city. So I believe in helping break this cycle of misery. If you can make an impact and change the fortunes of one child, please do it, because you change the fortunes of a
Absolutely.
child, the fortunes of a family change. And people
So
who you and
profound. So profound.
people like us who are in the position to give, should should do that. Begin with one and see how the impact can grow potentially.
When did this happen actually? What made you, how did this whole thing start off? That when did you realize that, and how did you realize that you would need to support a child, you want to support a child? How did this actually happen?
So I'm very connected to my native place. I keep going there
Mm-hmm.
every 3-4 months, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw how parents struggle to send their kids to school. How education, which is so easy for us, for example, in my native place, after you finish your 10th, to go to the higher grade, you have to walk 7 kilometers one way.
Oh.
So it's almost as if we are telling a certain section of society that you don't go to school, you don't get educated, you don't deserve to have a better life, you stay where you are. This is how circumstances get created. I'll give a simple example. The school has funding
Mm-hmm.
potentially for a
Mm-hmm.
computer lab, for all the books, but when you actually go to the school, you realize there's nothing, because what has been sanctioned by the government never really reaches the
Doesn't
place.
reach us. Yes.
So, through that money that we collected, we bought a couple
Mm.
of computers for the school. I personally installed fans because, in Konkan, in the summers, going to school without a fan, you can't sit, you will get baked.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
teachers and kids are sitting there 50 to a class. So we went and put up fans. We bought them certain things that could help them create a better education experience. So, and see, the thing is that either we get lost and locked in our own lifestyle, or we become slightly more aware and mindful of things around us and
Mm,
open our
mm, mm.
minds to making a difference. And like I said, everyone has the power to change at least one life. We should all do that. That
That's
really was the
yeah.
thought behind it.
I mean, I really like this concept of a genetic lottery, and which we all are born with this genetic lottery, and some of them have got huge lotteries. Some of us have got real good life, and we take it so much for granted, and
Absolutely.
and we don't really value those things that we have because they come easy and they just are there in abundance that we don't even value them. So, like as you said, that. Uh, Going to school and having a fan above on the roof is a luxury, and here even if we don't have an AC for you know 10-15 minutes we get restless. So that is
Absolutely.
what we take life and what we've got in life for granted. So from that perspective, Mandar, understanding from you, and again going back to the journey where you started in your life, where you had to struggle for a shoe as a youngster, to where you are giving away in abundance in life, I think you have really harmonized your heart and soul with this universe and the feeling of giving and of abundance. So I think this is a very important message for our viewers that no matter where you are, no matter how you have the power of changing at least one life.
Absolutely.
And to my mind, and as you've shared, it is like tasting blood. If you change one life, you want to change one more. And
Yeah.
you have the ability of doing it. It's just of the matter of, wanting to do it. So I believe
Absolutely.
that if you can do it, I can do it, and maybe all of us can do it. So thank you, Mandar, for giving us such a deep insight into our souls, taking us through your journey and sharing with us your wonderful times. Thank you for being with us. And once again, on behalf of Tell Me Your Story, thanks a lot.
Thank you. It was my pleasure being here. And if anyone's watching this show, remember this: it changed the life of one person around you, and that's
Yes.
all it takes. That's. Thank you for having me over. I had a
The
great
power of one, the
conversation.
power of
The
one from
the
Mandar.
power the power of fun. The power of fun.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.